Studies present The Fun Couple. All right, everybody. Thank you for putting up with that. We are The Fun Couple, and we just need one word to start with. Bubblegum. Bubblegum.
Jeremy, you know why I called you into my office?
No sir, Mr. Dan Smith. I got the call from my secretary. This isn't about the Peterson file, is it?
Jeremy, the Peterson file is way out of hand. I am sick and tired of having to hear about Mrs. Peterson calling this office, wondering how far the case is. When is Jeremy going to do his job? Jeremy, I'm upset with you.
Mr. Dan Smith, why are you upset with me? I mean, I did a thorough report. I followed the Petersons home. I even walked their dogs. I took their kids to school on a number of occasions.
Jeremy, I was a private investigator. Mrs. Peterson hired you to keep track of her husband. He's been calling the office too, snooping around. You've been walking their dogs, dropping their kids off at school? What kind of a private detective are you?
Well, I'm the neighborhood-friendly private detective. I mean, that's me, Jeremy Maples, your friendly neighborhood private detective. The secret is that I'm honest.
Well, Mr. Maples, I'm sorry, but you're going to have this fixed. We can't have you here at our firm.
That tie makes your head look small. Jeremy Maples, I'm just being honest.
Jeremy, take a look at yourself. You're being too honest with people. Perhaps you're hurting people's feelings. Perhaps you're ruining the things you work so hard for, Jeremy. I like you. You're my girlfriend's nephew.
Yeah.
I can't keep you here.
Well, Mr. Dan Smith, where will I go? I mean, I'm just an honest kid from the streets. I never knew better. Please, I mean, I could try and lie. For you, Mr. Dan Smith, I mean, I loved your new haircut, honestly.
Jeremy, I've got an idea.
I'm willing to listen to anything, Mr. Dan Smith.
As you might have heard, before I was a detective, I was in a street gang. It made me pretty hard, like a razor's edge.
I can tell, every day.
I think that if you spent a little time on the real streets, maybe joined a gang, you realize how important it is to keep your cool. Not to wisecrack at somebody.
A wisecrack? I mean, I'm just telling the truth. I thought that's what people admired. Your ass looks fat.
So you think you can join our gang, eh?
Yeah, I'm pretty loco, SA, even though those jeans don't match your shirt.
What did you say?
I
You hear this, guys?
No,
What you talking about, boss? I heard him. He's a real dickhead.
I didn't.
That's right.
Pedro, was it? Pedro? Listen,
You racist motherfucker. It's good, yeah. It's Pierre.
I'm so sorry, Pierre. Your shirt said Pedro. Well, that's a mighty big blame. That's true.
What we should do? What do you think we should do?
You should all treat me very kindly because I give you my honest opinion, which is what people want. Yeah!
He's right.
I didn't know if that's what we wanted.
Shut up! You don't know anything, you dick.
Well, you know, speaking of not knowing, I don't want to say anything, but your gang's colors, like the stripes and the plaids, I know it's all blue, but you kind of guys, you have to get one universal theme.
It's blue and black, I say. What are you talking about? These are our colors.
I mean, they're kind of neutral. They're really kind of vague.
You think so?
Like, investigator here.
What the fuck? No! You promised me!
Ellen, you can't keep writing things on me in Sharpie when I'm asleep.
I'm sorry.
There's...
Come out of your shirt, honey.
I mean, I have to go to job interviews, and these are my nice linen shirts. You can't keep writing my flaws on my shirts. I understand. This one just says that I'm overweight, and I don't think that's fair.
Well, you've lost weight since.
Well, yeah.
You look fantastic. Would you have lost that weight if I didn't always write fatty on your clothes?
Ellen, I mean, no. No, I wouldn't have. It was
Do you
your...
love me? Derek, do you love me?
I love you, Ellen. I love you, Ellen. Come here, give me a hug. I love you, Ellen. Oh, I just don't want you to write throws up every time he brushes his teeth on my nice jackets. I mean, these are things that maybe people at church don't need to see. Like, I go and my raincoat says that I have unexpected flatulence. How?
Derek, you don't understand how hard it is to deal with somebody that has flatulence in church or throws up when they brush their teeth. You have an eating disorder.
No. I don't have any, no, it doesn't say on any of my clothing items that I have an
You
eating
can lie to me,
disorder.
I'll lie to you. All right, fine. I love you, and you're the only man I've been with.
Ellen Somerset. Do you hear yourself talk? You would never say things like that to my shirts. You would never, ever say anything like that on my briefs. Keep scrubbing away. I'm not even going to put away the silverware this time. You know what? I had it. So he keeps getting on to you about writing on his clothes.
Well, I don't think he understands how hard it is to deal with him. Come on, please, just watch the fingernails.
Men. I mean, oh, you lady, you really know how to do things. I mean, you keep coming in here and you write all over us when we're not paying attention. You cannot write on my back. I'm getting powers. Hey, what's it?
It really hurt me.
Oh.
I know this may be a cheap shot, but these people don't know how to do a manicure.
These people are right in front of you, Ellen. You can't just keep going on like that. I mean, ugh. Ow, ow, ow.
See? We should have gone to the Russian place downtown.
Hey.
I am not going to put up with this. I am leaving.
Well, if you leave, I don't want to pay. Let's get out of here.
And get the fuck out! You know what I'm saying, these people?
Oh, God. I hate these people. Always trying to tell me what to do. If I want to be in the streets, I'll be in the streets, all right? I can beg when I want to beg. I just don't want people throwing change at me randomly.
That's right. I can't stand it when some asshole throws change at me like I'm begging. I don't want nothing. I didn't ask for your change. Do I look homeless?
Yeah, for real. It's like, what do I look like? I need your shot money? Pedestrians. They never know the blind what it's really like. Oh, you're not going to finish that? I go to it once. I used to be in a lab.
I remember back when we had real jobs. Instead of sitting out counting pedestrians on the sidewalk. I feel like a scavenger.
That's the third blue shirt. I get 5 points.
I mean, what kind of good can this really do a market?
It surely can't do any good. I mean, well, Actually, if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense to my complex mind that I'm often talking to myself within. I mean, if you really factor in all the red shirts that walk by in comparison to the blue shirts, the red shirts are more than likely going to give you a nickel in comparison to a 5-cent piece, which is the blue shirts make people uncomfortable, and then they realize that...
Rob, when I was a kid, I had real dreams. I wanted to be a fireman. Not a fucking people counter. Not a scavenger for the marketing world. A firefighter or an astronaut.
Douglas, you're the best people counter I ever seen. That's why I can't let you go. I mean, you're my apprentice.
Robert, when I'm done being your apprentice, the ultimate goal is to be a real people counter. I can't live with myself doing that. I got dreams.
So that's how it is, huh, Douglas? You just turn your back on old Robert, old red shirt Robert. No, that doesn't count. I was talking to you about this whole flight. It's okay. I understand. You're just going to turn your back on old red shirt Robert?
It just doesn't feel the same. When I got into this, I thought I was going to be in some big marketing company. Making things for catalogs or commercials, maybe funny slogans and jingles. Now count people in shirts on promenade.
You've come so far, haven't you, Douglas? All high and mighty with your GED. You think just because you've read a couple of... Who's the lady that wrote Everybody Poops?
Listen, I read that to my kids, all right? I wasn't bragging about reading that. I was just telling you about what I did at work. Every time I mention anything about my kids, it's, oh, you're bragging about reading. No, that's fatherhood. Robert.
So I really needed to hear about My Summer Guy by Judy Blume?
You don't understand what it's like.
I remembered her name because you always burn it into my scalp.
Judy's a great writer. She moves me. Have you read Ramona the Brave? That might not be Judy Blume. I love having kids, but one thing I know I can't do with kids is work in a fucking marketing company. I get $10 an hour. I have dreams.
Well, I learned to trade in those dreams, all right? There's no Judy Blume book that can make it easy for me to understand. There's no, hi, God, my life is meaningless. There's no, everybody does something mundane. Judy Blume didn't write a novel for us, all right? Judy Blume never put it in her mind frame for two hard-working men, such as ourselves, with possibly a family, possibly not, depicting text.
Terrible.
I'm here, boss.
So what did the streets teach you?
Well, they taught me a lot of cold things. I mean, 1 out of 3 people wears a red shirt in comparison to 1 out of 4 people wearing a blue shirt. I mean, it's a cold world. I also learned... Oh, God, this sounds silly. Did you know everybody poops? Did you know that?
Of course I know.
And did you know that if you live in a summer town and people come in for this summer town, that you can't found a relationship on that same basis? They're just gonna leave.
You lost it. That's a real long sentence.
Well, I apologize.
Can you sum it up in a couple of words?
If I could sum it up in a couple of words, it would be fantastic, awesome, and whimsical.
Don't take it. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. But I'm going to keep it in mind.
Well, I'm glad. I really appreciate you taking my word seriously.
Are you ready to go back on the case?
I was born ready.
Born ready? All right. So what do you think your tack would be if all of a sudden you're going to start privately investigating on the Petersons?
Well, my theory is first, go up to their doorbell.
It's not starting off.
And then walk away slowly.
All right.
And after that, I would make sure to open their mailbox and look through their mail to see who was sending them letters and or...
What the hell are you doing in my mailbox?
I saw some youths come by, put a firework. No,
Mr.
Mr.
Peterson, who's walking my kids to work.
You're
You're a real piece of work.
no. Well, thank you. That was a compliment, right? I took that as, you know, that's a really nice shirt. Honestly.
Listen, you're having an affair with my wife. I don't care.
Your shoes make you look like a dick fart. Oh, now is not the time for honesty. Now is not the time for honesty.
Listen, if you want my wife, you can have her. I'm already cheating. All right?
Wait, hang on.
I said, if you want to date my wife, you can have her. You can have the kids. They're a couple of brats. All right? I've got somebody else. The hell you writing down? What kind of mess did you get yourself into this time, dear?
I'm now married. I have two lovely kids. We're having a barbecue at a housewarming party on the 3rd. If you and Janice would come by, you know, Margaret and I would really appreciate it. I don't know what had. This guy just started talking, and then he signed something, and then the next thing you know, I'm moving in, and I'm walking my dog, and I'm taking my kids to school, and I don't know where I'm going.
You're just supposed to find out if he's cheating on her. What did you do?
Honestly,
Yeah.
I don't know. But I am in a great relationship. This is the happiest I've ever been. Please get me out. She always watches me. I never have a moment alone. I'm talking to you seriously, Mr. Dan Smith.
Why are you talking to your mom?
Out. She's got me on tape. You don't understand. You don't understand.